Good morning, it's Tuesday the 8th of November. This is the Phoenix Blue Morning Update brought to you by Tom Colley. Well, at last we have the day of the US presidential election. Totally dominant in the markets over the last week or 10 days, if not for longer. Some interesting effects. We had Hillary Clinton once again exonerated by the FBI, which saw a move in the markets, a bullish move on an expectation of her winning, or a greater expectation of her winning the election. She still remains favourite to win, but there is sufficient uncertainty for us to say that that win isn't in any way, or is only very partially priced into the markets, I would suggest. So you really need to make a decision. Are you looking to trade the actual election result? Here at Phoenix Blue we won't do that. If you are looking to do that, you need to have an understanding of how they vote in the USA with the Electoral College. You need to know which are the swing states, and you need to know the timings of their results, because this could be very much like the Brexit vote, where the very early result could very much determine the outcome, or feed in a great deal of extra uncertainty. With the Brexit vote, it was an early result. I believe it was from Sunderland that came in, which was such a strong in favour of Brexit vote that caused the biggest move in the pound that evening. Similarly, for the presidential election in the States, results start coming in about midnight UK time, and one of the very first results is Florida, which is seen as key to the overall picture. So if things go in Hillary Clinton's favour, we could very quickly see the markets reacting to a potential Clinton win. If it doesn't go in her favour, or the results don't stack up as expected, then we could very soon see an opposite move from the markets. So if you are looking at trading those, you need to be trading them live overnight, and you need to have done your research before that. It isn't going to necessarily, well, it may be a binary result, but when that result comes is dictated by specifics that are relate to the American electoral system. The other thing that I think that's potentially important is there are not two but three potential outcomes of the election. We've got a Clinton win, a Trump win, or a Clinton win and Trump refuses to accept the result. Most recently this happened on a George Bush Jr. election, where his competitor disputed the results and demanded a recount. Trump's already suggested that he won't accept a losing result, and so little is really known about his intentions that certainly would put a hiatus in the situation, in that the inauguration, or whatever the Americans call it, can't actually go ahead until, I believe, the other party concedes defeat. So overnight we may get one of those three results, so you need to be aware of that third result, because that could very much be, will very much be increased uncertainty. So looking forward, what will the various results, we've already said that result where Trump doesn't accept the Clinton a potential Clinton win as being greater uncertainty. But if we see a Clinton win or a Trump win, what can we expect to see in the major markets? Well, we've got the dollar index here. This is the result we got, this bullish move. Sorry, I've clicked on the bullish move here that followed Hillary Clinton's being absolved of the email problem by the FBI. So that shows, as we already knew, that if Clinton wins, there's a continuity. We expect to see a continuation in dollar strength. The reverse would be true if we see a Trump outright win. That would be a great deal more uncertainty about the US economy, and we would expect the US dollar to weaken, and we'd expect this chart to move to the downside. Other charts of interest in this respect are the Clinton win. That would suit the Japanese. This is the yen chart. If we get that dollar strength, we'll see the move to the upside. If we were to see a Trump win, the interesting thing would we see intervention from the Bank of Japan? We saw it at Brexit, undoubtedly here at about 99. We think we've seen intervention at these points as well. So we've got a rising trend line there. Would we see intervention with a Trump win? There is more focus on the intervention from the international community, so the Japanese might not feel so able to intervene, but certainly a possibility and something to have your eye on. Over on the euro, well, the dollar strength is going to do the obvious thing. If we see the Clinton win, we're going to see dollar strength pushing the euro to new lows. If we see the reverse, we're potentially going to see a recovery in the euro price, but a little bit less than, shall we say, on the yen, because the yen, a lot of the yen's move on a Trump win would be about being a safe haven and money running from risk assets to that safe haven. The euro doesn't at this time offer the same degree or a degree of safe haven in that respect, but we would expect to see the dollar weakening, giving euro another push to the upside. Another market where we'd watch for intervention is the Swiss franc. This is US dollar CHF. A Clinton win, again, dollar strength, we'd see an upside move. A Trump victory, and that would be a concern for the Swiss National Bank. They are permanently concerned about overvaluation of the Swissy. We would see money moving to this market again as a safe haven, like the yen. We could see intervention from the SMB. They're much more secretive. They don't telegraph what they're doing, so just something to be aware of. I've already mentioned the risk on, risk off scenario. Well, the real obvious one for that is gold. We saw a risk off move when on gold through last week. We saw this bullish move. We then saw the FBI saying that Hillary Clinton though there wasn't any issues around her emails. So we saw a sell-off in gold as the risk money returned to the risk-orientated markets. Those being typically the equities, where again we saw a week of downward pressure on the equities when the possibility of a Trump win potentially increased was after the FBI announcement that Hillary Clinton was being reinvestigated. Once that was effectively over, the markets reacted to that and price back in more probability of a Hillary Clinton win. So again, we'll expect to see a Clinton win, an upside in this market. Undoubtedly to new highs. We're seasonally biased long on equities at this time of year in the run up to Christmas. Almost worldwide, every equities market is biased in that direction. So I think that if we see a Clinton win, we'll see a big upward movement, new highs through to the end of the year based on that. A Trump win, and then we could potentially see a break below here, and then the question is how far will equities fall. Uncertainty will be the main thing, because there isn't a great deal of information on exactly what Trump intends to do, or even when he's told people what he intends to do, there isn't as much much information about how he intends to go about achieving those aims. So, clear decision: do I trade through the US election? If you do, you need to do your research. Once the election results are out, assuming we get a clear result, we'd then be looking and waiting for the US markets to open tomorrow afternoon in order to potentially take any positions to trade that result. Also worth mentioning that Friday is a US bank holiday, so less time to take advantage. So we'd really be looking at tomorrow afternoon stroke Thursday, with Friday being a day of low liquidity with those US markets being shut. Okay guys, just a reminder, we have an event in London next week on November the 15th. It's 4 hours of free trading alongside our fund managers. If you'd like to come along, and it really is a great event, absolutely free. You'll learn a lot more about how we trade, how we set up, how we analyse and set up our markets, and how we take advantage of the opportunities that we identify. If you want to attend, just pop onto the website, click the events page, and leave us your details. We also have an event the following week in Norway. If you would like to know more about that, please email us at info@phoenixblue. It's the same type of event. You'll get 4 hours of free trading with our fund managers in Norway. Okay guys, so by the time you hear from us tomorrow, we could well have a definitive election result from the US, which means we can move ahead and potentially look forward to the Fed rate decision in December as being the next really significant event. I've already mentioned we could actually still have more uncertainty dependent on a Clinton win and Trump not accepting defeat as he has suggested he will do. Okay, have a great day, and we'll speak to you in the morning. Goodbye.